Hello dear students, welcome. This is Joseline AR. Today I am going to tell you a story of a brave knight of Scotland. Knight. Who is a knight? Knight was in fact a man of high social status, trained as a soldier to fight sitting on a horse. You can see on the screen a knight. See his horse, see the armor, see the helmet. Okay, he is known by his horse, his armor, helmet, and the sword. You know, you can see the sword. It's very special. The sword is called broadsword because it is broad and sharp at two ends. You can see on the screen. Today I am going to tell you a story of one such knight of Scotland. This poem, what I am going to do today, is titled Lochinvar, and this poem is written by Sir Walter Scott. Before moving to the poem, let us know a few details of the author Sir Walter Scott. Sir Walter Scott was born on 15th August 1771 in Edinburgh, Scotland. He is known through his literary works and political contributions, but by profession he was a judge, lawyer and a legal advisor. See, he is widely known to everyone as a good writer and also because of his political achievements, but it was not, they were not his professions. By profession he was a lawyer, an advocate and in fact a judge and a legal advisor. Got it? So his works remain classics of English as well as Scottish literature. And his first novel came out in the year 1814, and the name of the novel is Waverley. And after 1814 to 1832, in fact, many novels came out, and all these novels are titled Waverley novels. Okay, the first novel was Waverley. As a result, all the other novels were titled Waverley. So, what I mean to say is, Sir Walter Scott's novels are titled Waverley novels. And Sir Walter Scott's actual name is Walter Oliver Scott. Some of his popular works are Rob Roy, okay, The Old Morality, The Heart of Midlothian, The Lady of the Lake, Ivanhoe, etc. He was a great playwright, novelist, poet and a historian as well. This great man passed in the year 1832 on September 21st. Okay, so in the present poem, Sir Walter Scott describes the valor and faithfulness of a brave knight of Scotland. Shall we start the poem? Fine. Oh, young Lochinvar is come out of the west. Through all the wide border, his steed was the best. And save his good broadsword, ye weapons had none. He rode all unarmed, and he rode all alone. So faithful in love, and so dauntless in war, there never was knight like the young Lochinvar. So faithful in love, and so dauntless in war. This is how author introduces Lochinvar. Okay, so Lochinvar travels from Scotland. Okay, in fact it travels from the border, a place in the border between England and Scotland. It travels from the wide border. Why wide means England and Scotland share a border of 96 miles, which is equal to 154 kilometers. So that's what author calls, see the second line, through all the wide border. It travels through the from the border, which is very wide in fact. Okay, it travels to the wide border, but before that, see the first word, O. What is O? It is an interjection which expresses surprise. You know, the word shows surprise. O, young Lochinvar is come out of the west. Come out of the west refers to the dawning sun. Here, author refers Lochinvar to sun. Author, Sir Walter Scott says, Lochinvar was as strong as sun. Okay, Sir Walter Scott described Lochinvar as strong as a sun. Okay, that's what. Oh, young Lochinvar is covered of the west. Through all the wide border, his steed was the best. Steed means horse. He came on his horse. I told you that a knight was a mounted soldier. He is always seen on the horse. So he traveled from Scotland to England on his horse, which was the best, author says. And save means accept. And except his good broadsword, he weapons had none. He did not carry any weapons. Okay, except his sword, he did not carry any other weapon, and he rode all unarmed and he rode all alone. See, knight, he was a man of high social status. He had taken part in many successful battles, but when he traveled to England, he traveled alone. I'll tell you why actually he traveled from Scotland to England. See, in England there's a place called Netherby. Okay, there's a place called Netherby. In Netherby there is a hall, Netherby Hall, which is a popular mansion. Okay, so in Netherby Hall, his lover was getting married to another person. Got it? So Lochinvar got the message and he traveled alone from Scotland to Netherby to escape with his lover. Though he was a brave soldier who had taken part in many successful battles, he did not carry a single weapon, and also he did not come in a company. He did not come in a company of his friends or anyone. He was alone. He was all unarmed. Unarmed means no weapons. He did not carry any weapon. Neither he carried weapons nor he came in a company. See, author calls him so faithful in love and so dauntless in war. He was extremely faithful. He was faithful, so he traveled to Netherby to take his lover away. One more interesting thing here is, even his lover's name is Ellen. Ellen is the lover of, was the lover of Lochinvar. Even she had agreed to marry someone else, though she was in love with Lochinvar. The reason was, she was forced. She was forced by her family members to accept to marry someone else, though they knew very well that she was in love with Lochinvar. I'll tell you, Lochinvar had already approached Ellen's father to seek Ellen's hand in marriage, but Ellen's father did not agree or did not accept the proposal of Lochinvar, because Lochinvar was a soldier, whereas Ellen belonged to a noble family, rich family. Got it? So when Lochinvar received the news that his lover was getting married to someone else, so he decides to reach the spot and take his lover away, but was very careful because he did not want to create any violence, bloodshed. So he traveled alone without a company and weapon. Okay, so author calls him, he was faithful and even dauntless. Dauntless means fearless. He was dauntless in war. I told you, he had taken part in many successful battles. He single-handedly had won many battles. Such a man traveled alone to win his love. Got it? Fine. So faithful in love and so dauntless in war, there never was knight like the young Lochinvar. There never was knight like young Lochinvar. See the last word, Lochinvar. The title of this poem is Lochinvar. And see the last word of the first stanza is also Lochinvar. See, this poem, Lochinvar, is a ballad in fact. Ballad is a song which tells a story in short stanzas. So this poem contains 8 stanzas. In each stanza there are 6 lines, and every stanza ends with the title, that is Lochinvar. That's the specialty of this poem. And still inversions are used here. See, he weapons had none. Instead of telling he had no weapons, author uses inversion. He weapons had none. So in many lines inversions are used. This poem is extremely special in many aspects. Already, students, let's move on. So in the first stanza, author very clearly describes that Lochinvar traveled alone from the border between England and Scotland, alone without carrying any weapons, because he was extremely faithful and even dauntless. Alright, see, let's move on. He stayed not for break, and he stopped not for stone. He swam the Esk river, wherefore there was none. But ere he alighted at Netherby gate, the bride had consented, the gallant came late. For a laggard in love and a dastard in war was to wed the fair Ellen of brave Lochinvar. See the first two lines of second stanza. I'll read out again. You just observe. He stayed. Stayed means stopped. He stayed not. Say again, inversion is used here. He stayed not for break, and he stopped not for stone. He swam the Esk river, where ford there was none. Ford means a shallow point. You cannot cross the river unless there is a shallow point. If there is a shallow point, only then you can, cross it. So Lochinvar, in the first two lines, the first couplet, we call it couplet. First two lines, couplet. In the first couplet of the second stanza, author says that Lochinvar was in a haste. He was in a hurry. He did not take break. He did not stop. You see, on his way from Scotland to England, he had to face number of obstacles, hardships. Okay, he had to pass among the bushes and trees, and he had to travel on the stony ways. In fact, a river came on his way, but he never stopped. He did not stop anywhere. On the way, a big river, Esk river came. It was very deep. He did not stop. He did not wait. Instead of looking for a shallow point, that is ford, he jumped into the river and swam across it. So the first two lines very clearly describes that he was in a haste. See why? But ere he alighted. Ere is an old English word, archaic word, which means before. But ere he alighted. Alight means got down. He was the first. See, but ere he alighted at Netherby gate. He was in a hurry. He was in haste because he wanted to reach this spot first. Which spot? Netherby. Netherby is a place where there is a hall. You can see on the screen, Netherby Hall. This is a very popular mansion. This was the place where Ellen was getting married. So in order to reach this place as fast as he could, he did not take break. He did not stop for hardships, obstacles, difficulties. He reached before anyone could reach. But unfortunately, author says the bride had consented and the gallant came late. Though he was the first person to reach the Netherby, and of course he came and stood in front of the gate of the hall. The gate was not still open because the guest and relatives, guest, friends, relatives had not started coming. As a result, the gate was still closed. Of course, already the marriage was in progress. Okay, the bride's family already, they were inside. All the members of the family were inside. But the gate was not opened. But he was the first person to come and stand in front of the gate. Okay, see, but author says it was too late. Though he was the first person to reach, it was late because his lover Ellen had already given consent to marry someone else. See what kind of person she was getting married. For a laggard in love and a dastard in war was to wed fair Ellen of brave Lochinvar. She was getting married to a person who was quite opposite to Lochinvar. Lochinvar was faithful and dauntless, whereas this fellow was a laggard and dastard. Laggard is the opposite of faithful. He was a timid person, and dastard is opposite of dauntless. Dauntless means fearless, but this fellow is a coward. Lochinvar is fearless, and the one who is going to marry Ellen was a coward. Okay, she was going to marry. See what the last line was: to wed the fair Ellen of brave Lochinvar. Such a man who was a laggard and dastard was going to marry Ellen, who actually belongs to Lochinvar. See, the second stanza also ends with the word Lochinvar. Let's move on. So boldly he entered the Netherby hall among bridesmen and kinsmen and brothers and all. Then spoke the bride's father, his hand on his sword. For the poor craven bridegroom said never a word. Oh, come ye in peace here, or come ye in war, or to dance at our bridal, young Lord Lochinvar. See, Lochinvar came and stood in front of the gate. He was the first person to reach the Netherby gate. The gate was not still open. But as soon as the gate opened, he entered into the hall along with bridesmen. The relatives of the bride, bridesmen, friends and all. Many people were attending the marriage. Along with them, he too entered into the hall. Remember, he was uninvited. Already once he had approached Ellen's father to seek Ellen's hand in marriage, but Ellen's father had very clearly rejected because he thought he was not a proper suit to his daughter, as she belonged to a noble class. In spite of all these things, he boldly entered the hall where the marriage was in progress, along with the relatives, friends and all. Not his relatives and friends, Ellen's relatives and friends. Okay, see. Then spoke the bride's father, his hand on his sword. As soon as Lochinvar was seen in the hall, bride's father, Ellen's father, took the sword in his hand and asked her. See what he asked? Oh, come ye. A means old English word, archaic word. You. Ye means you. Oh, come ye in peace here or come ye in war. As soon as Lochinvar, Ellen's father saw Lochinvar in the hall, he took the sword in his hand and asked, hey, why have you come here? Have you come here in peace or in war? Or to enjoy, dance at our bridal, young Lord Lochinvar. As soon as, Ellen's father saw Lochinvar in the hall, he understood that something was going to happen. So he took the sword and asked whether he had come there to create trouble or to enjoy the bridal or to dance. See, Christian marriages are known for dance and drink. Okay, so if you're in England or Scotland, generally in a Christian marriage you can see number of couples dancing in the hall. Couples, okay. Then drinks, especially wine is served in Christian marriages. So, Ellen's father asked her whether Lochinvar had come in peace or in war or to enjoy the bridal. Bridal means wedding. To this, I said, see the fourth line, for the poor craven bridegroom said never a word. As soon as Ellen's father saw Lochinvar in the hall, he removed the sword and asked Lochinvar whether he had come there in peace or war. But the bridegroom did not respond because the bridegroom was a coward. See, craven, for the poor craven. Craven means coward. He was a coward. He was in no way matched to Lochinvar. So when Lochinvar entered the hall, father was furious, but this fellow, he stood quiet. He did not, the bridegroom did not utter a word because he was a coward. Alright, let's move on. I long wooed your daughter, my suit you denied. Love swells like the Solway, but ebbs like its tide. And now am I come with this lost love of mine to lead but one measure, drink one cup of wine. There are maidens in Scotland more lovely by far that would gladly be bride to the young Lochinvar. When Ellen's father asked Lochinvar whether he had come there to attend the marriage or to cause any trouble, he confused Ellen's father by telling that, first he reminded, I long wooed your daughter. He told Ellen's father that, of course, I wooed your daughter. Wood means love someone with the intention to marry, not just loving. Love in order to marry. He reminded Ellen's father, I long wooed your daughter. I loved your daughter a lot. We were in love with each other. And when I came, say, you denied my suit. My suit you denied. Inversion is used here. You denied my suit. It means, I told you, once Lochinvar had come to seek Ellen's hand in marriage, but he reminded that scene. But you denied. It means Lochinvar told Ellen's father that he denied. Because Ellen's father thought Lochinvar is not a proper suit to his daughter. As it was just a mere soldier. He reminded that. And he compares his love to the tides of Solway. See, second line. Love swells like the Solway, but ebbs like its tide. He compares his love to the spring tides of Solway. Solway is the river which forms the border between England and Scotland. Alright, it's a very big river, and this river is known for its spring tides, great tides in fact. And he compares his feeling, love, to that great tides. He says, we were in love. I had a lot of love on your daughter, like that. He compares his love to the great tides of Solway, and now he says it has ebbed, but ebbs like its tide, like how the waves retreat, go back. In the same way, he says his feelings have died out. It means he has no such feelings on Ellen. He had just come there to attend the marriage. In this way, can we see the third line? And now I may come with this lost love of mine to lead but one measure, drink one cup of wine. He confused them by telling that I have no such feelings on your daughter. My love is lost and I have come. He confused. He told them that he had come there just to attend the marriage, drink and dance. Got it? And see, further he confused by telling there are maidens. Maidens means beautiful unmarried women. There are maidens in Scotland more lovely by far. There are beautiful maidens in my homeland, that is Scotland, who are more beautiful than your daughter. That would gladly be bride to the young Lochinvar. He confused Ellen's father by telling that there are, in fact, there were a lot of brides in Scotland who were ready to get married, to marry Lochinvar. So he totally confused. Remember, his intention was totally different. He had actually, in fact, he had come there to elope with Ellen, but he did not want to create any bloodshed, violence. So he confused Ellen's father by telling that he has no love. His love has disappeared, like the tides, how the waves and tides retreat, go back into the sea. He says his love has disappeared, and he further confused Ellen's father by telling that there were number of beautiful women in Scotland ready to marry. Okay, so I'm going to end now. In the next part, we'll complete the poem. Stay tuned till then. Take care of your health. Don't go out. Stay home. Stay safe. If you have any doubts, you can call me on my personal number. Bye.